welcome on into my little cross stitch corner. My name is Sheila. I go by the Crow River Stitcher here on YouTube, the Crow River Stitcher over on Instagram, and I have a Etsy shop called She's So Sassy, and I make project bags. And look at my stack. I've been busy sewing. I have a bunch. They are getting listed right as we speak, probably as this video is uploading. And so I made a small size because so often I have some smalls and I put them in this big huge project bag and it's such a waste of space. So I made some really like a smaller project bag, and it fits one of these little half, like when the you can buy the little half folded charts. So when you purchase the half sizes, they fit perfectly in here. I made it snug because I wanted to be able to have as small of a bag as possible to be able to fit it. So it just snugly goes down in there. You got your little tiny project you're working on, the floss, and it holds a small perfectly. And then, you know, you could put it in your purse, or much easier to bring along on the go. So when you're doing a small and you don't want a big old project bag, I do have a few. I just seeing if you guys like the smaller size. I made, I think, 4 of them. So I have a really cute, like, springy bee one, and a Halloween one, and everyday one, and a patriotic one. So I know we have a lot of little smalls that we work on. So if you guys are interested, I have small, then the typical medium size. It's 11 by 14, the size. Oh, this one measures, let me see. It's about 9.5 by 9.5. They're almost square. They're a little longer this way because of the zipper, but about 9.5 by 9.5, 11 by 14. And then I have the big size, which are down here. These are 14 by 14, the bigger ones, I believe. They're about that. Yep, right about 14 by 14. So these hold a big project. The medium size, they do hold a regular size big chart. They fit a long way with a big chart. These just will hold like big piece of fabric, a lot of floss, just extra, you know, a lot more roomier, or you could put a couple projects in here. So those are the 3 different sizes I have in my shop now. So you can go check them on out. So thank you so much for everybody who has purchased a bag. And I will list my shop down below. So welcome. It is the new year. It's January 10th, 2025. And wow, it was just Christmas. And of course now it's well into January. And I hope everybody had wonderful holidays, that you got some great Christmas presents and got to celebrate with all your friends and family, and that 2025 is starting off good for you guys. So let's keep this 2025 momentum going. Like, yay, another year, another year, another year. Okay, so let's start out with fully finishes. I have just one little fully finish. It was a start, a finish, and a fully finish, all in a day and a half. Is that fuzz? Oh no, it's, I thought it was string, but it was the angle. Every time I'm wearing a sweater or something fuzzy, I look down and I have floss and threads all over me. I'm picking them off all the time. Okay, so it is my fully finish. It's from Sherry from Colorado Cross Stitcher, and it's Stitching Makes Me Happy. And it's just this quick, simple, little fun chart. And we all know that stitching makes us happy. So perfect chart. And I put it, well, here it is. I'll show you. The fabric is on 30 count, and it's from Primitive Hair, and it's the Rainbow Collection. it didn't have like the name of this color. So I don't know if her rainbow collection has different colors like in the rainbow of, you know, what she carries. So that's the tag. And it's kind of just a beautiful plummy eggplanty color. It's pretty. And I've had it in my stash for a while and I didn't know what I was planning on using it. I'm like, oh, that's perfect, because this chart you could put on any color with any color floss, and it's just a simple, you can make it fun, you could use variegated, wild, like there's just, you could do so much because it's just a small, easy little finish. I put mine in a pillow. She did hers in a frame, and it measures, what does this pillow measure? About 5 by 5 pillowish. So filled it with crushed walnuts. Got this one packed really well. I used the Lady Dot Creates in the vintage. I had used this with one of my Christmas projects, and I still have enough for another pillow. I think, you know, if some small pillows, you could probably get 3 or 4 finishes out of a pack of that. So that's nice that it's not just one and done. And the most wonderful that I did with that, it's a little longer, bigger pillow, and there's still plenty in there. And the backing fabric I just had in stash. These are some scissors, and you know, we all have scissors at our disposal all the time. So I was like, oh, that just kind of works. Stitching makes me happy with some scissors, and the brown kind of goes with the plum. It works, right? So there it is. Stitching makes me happy, and I have it over by my little stitchy spot. How many times did I say stitching and stitchy? Let's keep track. You guys can drink a sip of beverage every time I say stitchy. All right. The another start I had was Winter on the Square, and this is from Scissor Tail Designs. It's three little designs in here, and I wanted to start the middle one, and I did. Oops, board is under all this again. I do this every time. You would think I'd learned my lesson. No. Okay, got the board. This is on 32 count platinum. It calls for 28 count platinum, and I did 32. And these pillows, this is going to be tiny, just really tiny. I think it's on a 28 count. It's a 3.35 inch square. So this is a little smaller on a 32. It's just going to be a tiny little pillow. Like, oh, my nails look bad. I took off my red nail polish. You know how red stains makes them kind of orangey, and I didn't have time to paint and wait for them to dry. So don't mind the nails. It just uses 2 DMC and then 1 fancy floss in blue beadboard, and finished that in one night, and I'm like, I think it was one day, a day and a half. Started it late, and then last night I just started another one. So I'll probably, I don't know if I'll be able to probably squeeze one down here, because I won't need a lot of margin for pillows. I usually leave like a 1/2 inch margin when I'm sewing pillows, maybe 3/4 of an inch margin. So I should be able to squeeze one more on this fabric. But for sure, I'll work on one more. And then if I don't get to the third one this winter, I can finish it up next winter. So that was a start. The other start I had was from, this was my New Year's Day blessing sampler. And it is from Pansy Patch Quilts and Stitchery, Little Red Schoolhouse Pin Keep, 1862. And this guy, I I'm doing it on 46 count Mocha by Weeks Dye Works. Wanted it really just tiny. And I'm using DMC 814. I was going to do, I had like a half skein left of Bing Cherry. And then I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to have enough. And then I have to order it. And this needs to be done in, you know, by the end of the month. So I just, Bing Cherry and 814 look very, very close. And so I just went with that. Very cute. Started at the top and couldn't wait to get over to the little buns. And then this heart, it's really just sweet. I like it on the Mocha. It's my very first red sampler. So I can check off one of my goals that I'll talk about later, but this is my first thing I can check off on something. The next start I had is from Rovaris. It's called Crow. I think that's how you say it. Rovaris. Rovaris. And this I bought to make little, I want to redo back here, like change out the pegboard, maybe spray paint it, and then put some cross stitch stuff back there. But I don't know, I need to make something look cuter for my background. And so when I bought this, I wanted Crow River Stitcher. So I found this, which is the crow. And then I have a alphabet that I bought for River Stitcher, and I'm just going to chart it to look decent. Like, they don't have to match because the crow will just stand out. And then, but I like when things have different fonts. It brings attention to your eye all over. So I didn't need to have the same font. So I'll have to chart that. But I started it, and I just started it on this Murano Carré, I don't know. If it's not English looking, I just butcher everything. Such a English speaker. But it's just as Weigert. It comes from Hobby Lobby, and it's 32 count. And it's ice white, but I ended up dyeing it because I wanted just like I didn't want it white on the black and grayish thing. So I dyed it with, actually, if you can believe, this looks purple, and it is purple looking, but I used like tan and taupe and brown. But because this is not 100% cotton, it is 52% cotton and 48% modal. So it's a synthetic fiber. And cotton and synthetic, they take color differently. So I was thinking this is going to turn out more brown, but it turned out more purple, and I like it just fine. It's still really pretty. The model, there's just really subtle modeling, not much, and it's not white. I'm just happy it's not white for what I wanted. So I started, and it's just 2 colors. It's DMC 310 and I think 414 or 413, and it's what do you call it when you hold both colors together? Blended floss. So the crow and then this little crow, it's in the 2 colors blended, and then the 310. So I wanted on 32 count or 36, I could have got away with the 2 strands to hold it, and it's got a fun effect when you hold it 2 different strands. Like, I could have found a variegated one that's kind of gray and black too, but it's going to give a little different, the variegation would give a little different look. Like, yeah, because the colors slide out, where when you're holding the 2 different colors together, it's just a constant changing. So it's kind of fun to be able to do that. So this will be finished crow, and then there'll be a crow there, and then I'll just put River Stitcher under it, and then have that for my little banner logo to be in here. And I got the Crow River Stitcher name from we live not far from the Crow River. And our area that I live in, Western Minnesota, like an hour west of the Twin Cities, there's a lot of Crow River names, like the Crow River Winery and all kinds of things. It's kind of a tongue twister for me, Crow River Stitcher. So whenever I say it in the YouTube, it's like, for some reason, I fumble over my tongue a lot. Like, probably because I don't speak for a living. I think the more often you speak and have to communicate with others, you just get better with it. I think I have a lazy tongue because I don't talk much. Like, throughout the day, I'm just quiet, going about my business. I don't talk to a lot of people. You know, I'll text people, but I don't speak a lot. Like, I bet you if I took a tally of all my words, it would not be very many throughout the day. And I could tell when I start talking, it's just like, it's so interesting because in my brain, everything like sounds really good. And then from my brain to my mouth and out, it's just like a traffic jam. It's just like, you just squeeze the hose. Yeah, basically it feels like when you take a hose in the summer and you like bend it to not like spray. That's what it feels like. Once my words in my head hit my mouth, it's like bent hose. All right. So maybe I just need to speak more. My next start was my SAL. So I started, we all started January 4th, and this is going to be an 18-month SAL for us. And I'm hosting it, doing in weekly sections. So every Saturday on my Instagram, I post the next little section we do. Basically, it's just a 24 by 40 section. So if you start from the top left, you know, the first week is 24 across by 40 down. The next week's 25 by 49 and 40 down. So, but if you started wherever you started, it would be the same, just a 24 by 40 little section. And that would be our weekly goal, to get this done by the 250th anniversary of our nation. So that is what we picked. So if you haven't heard about it and you're like, oh, I want to join, it's not too late. You could catch up. And so every week I put the new section on Instagram, and you guys can just tag me. The hashtag is Freedom250Sal, or you could just tag me as Crow River Stitcher. And then we just started a Facebook page for the SAL. So if you have joined the SAL and you're like, oh, you have a Facebook page where we can encourage each other and post our progress, you can email me to get an invite to the SAL, or you can find the SAL. It's Freedom250Sal on Facebook, and ask for an invite there as well. So this was my other start, and I ended up doing 2 weeks worth because I was loving it. And I kind of want to stay like 1 week ahead of you guys, just to, you know, make sure we're on track. And if there's any mistakes, one of my viewers pointed out that there is an error in this border up here. So just be careful. It's like, oh shoot. Maybe I'll post a picture of where she showed it to me, but it's in this border where it's only supposed to be like 5 upside down U's, I think, but there's 6 of them in one little section. So heads up for there. If you guys are used to not looking at your chart and just assuming that the repetitive border should stay the same, you won't be too taken aback. But if you're like counting all the time and you're like 6, why, you know, so pay attention to that. So anyhow, I'm doing mine on 40 count vintage country mocha, and I cut it to size, hopefully, that I'll have 1.5 inches on all of it. I kind of double counted, and I think I'm close. If not, I'll be 1.25 inches, but for sure I should have at least 1 inch border, which I don't know why I cut my fabric so close, because I had like a 1/2 yard of this, and I just was like, cut it, and then all of a sudden I'm like, what? Why did I not give myself, you know, at least 2 inches or so? But yeah, it's looking good. I'm still missing 2. My Joann Fabrics has been out of 2 of the colors for the border, so it looks a little sparse right there, but there it is. 40 count vintage country mocha. And so on the internet or on all our floss tubes, I've heard Lila Studio and Lila Studio, and because I'll probably be saying her name often, I messaged her and I said, what's the correct way of saying your name? And she said Lila. So, and she also on her Instagram, she has it phonetically spelt out for Lila. So it's Lila Studio. So wanted to make sure I was saying her name right, because, you know, our names are part of who we are. Like, if somebody says my name wrong, I don't get too upset, or sometimes I won't even correct them. But sometimes, you know, if they keep saying it, I'm like, I would rather know the correct way of saying something than sound bad and saying something wrong. Even though I know my English grammar is not perfect and I say wrong things, but I try to be correct. So, all right. There it is. I'm so excited for this sal. It's going to be a big one, but I think it's just going to be fun. And it's so much fun when you have a group of people. I think we have already 48 people in the Facebook group that are doing it. Some of them have started this project, you know, a year ago, 2 years ago, and it's been sitting. So this is a great incentive for them to keep up on it. And a lot of us are brand new starting this one. And we have some people that are brand new to a sal. They've never done a sal, and this is their first one they chose. There's at least 1, maybe 2 that have never done it on 40 count. They're doing it on 40 count. So it's just been great seeing the progress of everything. So if you guys still want to join, so next are all my whips that I worked on. Those were like whips as well, but those were like start whips. These are just plain old, had them in my stash, or not starting, they've been a whip. So, and whip is work in progress if somebody's new. I always assume if you're watching my floss tube that you're versed in cross stitch, and I shouldn't assume that, right? You know, they say what you are if you assume things. So I shouldn't assume, but so whips are work in progress. And anytime you have a question that this piece of hair is like on the corner of my eye and bugging me, I need a haircut so badly. All right, whip this is from Reflet de Soie, and it's called Ani Cavour. That's my best. You know, I could put this in like Google Translation and listen to it before I speak, but that's what it's called, by Reflet de Soie. And this is on 40 count, and I think I might have showed it last time. I've been working on this one quite a bit. I need to like put her away for a while and pull out some other ones that have been neglected. They're probably giving me the stink eye over here. Like, you haven't paid attention to me. What am I, your redheaded stepchild? So lightly salted, not roasted, by Be Stitch Me. And there it is. I worked on up here, finishing that. Yep, all 5 of these are done. And now I'm starting to mimic this floral over here. It's going to be tight as well on this fabric. So I should be able to at least another inch. I don't know why I don't give myself more margin. It's not that I'm cheap, I don't think. Maybe, you know, I did not cut this fabric, actually. This one came all one size, and I think we just measured it, and maybe I gave myself too much over here. Anyhow, it should be just fine. We'll find out. That's my worst nightmare, like getting all the way, putting all this work on, and then finding out you're like too short for something. I know it's going to happen to me eventually, because I just do. Me and math are not besties, but yeah, hopefully it doesn't ever happen. Love this colors, all the different design elements in here. I love the French alphabet. I like French samplers, so let's give a close-up. Love the fabric. So pretty. It's got great modeling. It's really warm, peachy color. So fun. So fun. All right. The next one is Barbara Anna, All Creatures Great and Small. And this one, it's coming on a year. I think I started this in February, so next month I think it'll be a year old. And I'm just about, am I halfway done? Yeah, I'm just about at the halfway mark, give or take a couple stitches, or, you know, some stuff in the border. This is on 40 count vintage country mocha, and I got these chickens done. So basically I need to just finish up here in a few, add some like the flowers there, but this is the halfway point. Oh, and I do have some down here. So basically, yeah, if you transfer this to there, I am halfway done here. So yay, 1 year, half done. So does that mean it'll be a whole nother year before it's completely done? Probably, which is fine. So cute. Love all the different animals. I am such an animal person. Being on a farm, we've had pretty much every animal. And prior to that, I've had tons of animals. I've had all kinds of birds, parakeets and finches and parrots and cockatiels. I've had hamsters. I've had gerbils. We have guinea pigs, cats, dogs, goats, pigs, cows, chickens, all kinds of birds. We have guinea hens. We had ducks. So I just love animals. And oh, rabbits. I raise rabbits. Yeah, I could probably, yeah. I think the only thing I've never really had domesticated, well, not domesticated, but like what people usually keep, or I've never owned a snake or lizard or any reptile like that. Nope. So that's about the only thing that I haven't owned that most people have in general. So there it is. While I speak, I'm always holding this up because Mrs. Tangent here. You hear my cat? She's crabby over there. She's meowing behind the door on the other end, probably wanting in. She's like, don't forget about me. I'm a small creature. All right. This is my Sunday stitch. Elizabeth Weston, 1830. This was my birthday start in September, and I try to pull this out every Sunday. Over the Christmas break and stuff prior, it had been a few weeks. I think it was 3 weeks that I hadn't pulled it out. And so I finally pulled it out this last weekend, which I thought was a Sunday, but it was actually Saturday. But because of all the holiday and my husband's been home so much and football's been on so often, and usually they only play football on Sundays, but now with the playoffs and the final ends, they've been on Saturday as well. So Saturday morning, the football games were on, and I'm thinking, oh, I can pull out my Sunday stitch. It's Sunday today. And I worked on it all afternoon, and then I even said something like to my husband, oh yeah, don't forget to take out the trash because Monday's trash day. And he's like, I'll take it out tomorrow. I'm like, okay, well, if you want to do it before work. And he's like, today's Saturday. And like, it is? So this was my Saturday slash should have been Sunday stitch. This is on 40 count Picture This Plus truffle. And like all the YouTube people say, truffle, you cannot get a picture. I put a picture of it in the beginning, in my intro, that I took with my camera, and that was probably the best coloring that I could get from it. It was still a little off, but the picture and on the camera was a little tiny pinker on the camera, and it's a little more brown, but it's probably as close as you can get it, because here it just looks kind of browny and pink, but it's a much more pink truffle. I love it. I love pink. So with the pinks on here and that pink, it's just so pretty. And I worked right here in the border. I got these two things filled in on Saturday, and oh, just a couple of these little guys down here. So I'm going to just work over a little bit into here. So I try to do like a chunk on the border, then go in and go in there. It's big. It's going to be really big. It's like 400 and something by, what is it? 430 by 449. So I'm going to be doing this. It will not be finished by my birthday in September, which I didn't think it would. I'm maybe a quarter of the way, almost a quarter of the way done. So if you divide that up, maybe almost a quarter. So that's not bad in September, October, November, December, January. Look at me. I have to use my fingers when I count. Me and math? No, I'm a finger counter. So 4 months. So technically, if I worked really hard, I probably could finish this in a year, but I don't want to have to put that pressure on me. Wait, 3 months. Not 3 months. So if it took me because 3 more quadrants, that's a quarter, and that's a full one. So technically, I probably could get this done within a year span, but yeah, if I do, yay, but if I don't, that's fine. I don't need to have this done before I start another birthday start, but maybe close. So, and then my next birthday start probably will not be this big. My goal this year is to have less big, huge samplers and working on more smalls. That way, because if I'm constantly starting big samplers, I'll just feel like I'm never getting anything done. And I love stitching, but I love having a done project. So the smalls are so rewarding because I'm like, oh, there's something I can put in my house. So yeah, the smalls, I'm going to have more starts on smalls than I am on big samplers, but I will start some big samplers as well because that's where my heart lies. The next one, and the last one, yeah, wow, quick. The last one is Echoes of a Garden Past by Mojo Stitches. And this one is so cool. So fun. Love all the different motifs, and that lady in the middle. She's unique. She's just fun. She's holding a flower. Yeah. Saving her till pretty much last. This is on 36 count, and it is, what is it? Atomic Ranch Fabrics. It's Mellow Stone, and 36 count. And it's so interesting because I bought this maybe March or April. I think I started it, and it was newer into my stitching career. And I like 36 counts fine. I prefer 40. And this is only one strand over the two fabric threads. And I chose one strand because I knew that this was going to be really dense down here. And sometimes 2 strands and super dense on 36 is too tight for me. It's just, they don't lay as nice. Some people probably can get theirs to lay better. I can't. So I chose only one strand. And this weave is pretty open compared to, I work on a lot of Picture This Plus. And so that's really a lot tighter weave. So when I had pulled this out, I hadn't worked on it for a few months. And doing the one strand on 36 on here, I'm like, oh, it feels so open and loosey. And I wasn't liking how my stitches were laying because they're too loose. But when you're just looking at it, it's fine. But when I'm so used to seeing how 40 or even 46 count, they're just small and they lay nicer because the weave is tight, where this will kind of get, the holes are more open. And so when you're pulling down, you know, the linen can kind of get distorted, pulled to the left or pulled to the right too much if your tension's different or off. So I was kind of frustrated when coming back to this on 36. But as the night went on, I think I worked on this 2 days, and the next day I'm like, oh, it's fine. So it's interesting how just one step up or down for these linens can change, or even depending on the dyer and maker of them, some of them are open weave and some are tighter, and so it's interesting. So that was kind of what I was thoughts for the day. So I had, what did I do? I worked a little bit on this. They kind of look like little ice crystals coming up from the ground, and the little snail, this flower I put in, and worked up here. So I got kind of long there, and then I'll bounce on over and I'll finish the grass over there, which I don't have much left of that corner, and then I'll work my way up into these other motifs here, and then kind of save that lady for the last. But this one is just, the colors are great. I'm just using DMC, and there's just maybe like 7 or 8 colors. It's not a big palette, so a lot of it's just repetitive, and I love that. Like, it's just very cohesive. And so, Echoes of a Garden Past, Mojo Stitches. So coming on a year on that too, pretty soon, a few months away. I'm halfway done with that one as well. Actually, a lot of my samplers that I started all this last year, they're almost all of them are at the halfway mark. So this coming year, if I continue working as diligent as I have been, I should have quite a bit of samplers, big samplers, done by the end of this coming year, I would think. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. So stats. My 2024, which was my first full year of cross stitching, I started like November of 2023. And so last year was my first full year. And I think I kept pretty good track of most things. My numbers are off, and I don't know why and how. And I don't feel like mathing. But I ended up having 52 starts last year. And it was like 2 days before the end of the year where I sat down and going through all my stats, and I had 51 starts. And I was like, oh, I'm 52 this last year. I should have 52 starts. So that was this, this one. Stitching Makes Me Happy. Like December 30th, I think I whipped this out to start it, to add one in So I was 52 starts for my 52nd year of life on this planet. I didn't plan it that way. It just happened to work out, and I threw one more in. So maybe this next coming year, I'll have 53 starts for my 53rd year. You're saying, 52? How do you 52? You look so young. No, I feel like once 50 hit, it was like, boom, more gray hair, more wrinkles, more sagging, more like, and granted, menopause hit right around, well, it was actually late, it was 48, but yeah, once that hits, and then 50, it's like compounds, and like, I told my husband, I'm like, maybe for my 60th birthday, I'll get a facelift. And he's like, you don't need a facelift. And I'm just like, no, watch this. I'm like, oh. I'm like, gravity. But then part of me is just like, just embrace aging. Like, not everybody gets to age. Some people die young, and like, just love yourself the way you are. And then, so I have this tug of war of that when you look in the mirror and you still feel like your brain and your everything, you feel like you're like 27, but then you look in the mirror, you see pictures of yourself, you're like, whoa, look at my age. So, but that's okay. I'm curious, like, and excited to see what I look like at 70 or 75 and 80, like, especially after this last year having cancer. You know, like, appearance and like staying young looking, that's puts a whole different spin on it now. Like, I'm just like, oh no, I want to get old, and I want to live a long life and just embrace it all. And so another weird tangent, but if you want a facelift, go get a facelift. Maybe for my 60th I will, but maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just stay looking natural. Oh, natural. I've never had Botox, nothing. Like, I'm as natural as it comes. Even my hair, I have not colored my hair in months and months. There's a tiny bit of blonde left on the ends here, but I haven't even colored my hair. I'm letting that go kind of natural, which I'll reassess that in the spring. Come spring, I'll probably be like, oh, I want something a little brighter, lighter, but right now, we're just letting it go fine. The upkeep on that's a pain in the butt, and I don't have a ton of gray. There's some up there, but the only problem with not coloring your hair, one more quick tangent, is it gets greasier so much quicker. I have to, wash it like every day, or else the grease monster comes. So when you color it, it dries it out a little bit, and I can go, a couple days without washing it when it's colored. So that I miss. All right, back to stats. Maybe I'll edit all that out. So of 52 starts, I have 31 finishes. And I should have counted all my fully finishes. I think of the 31 finishes, I maybe have 3 things that aren't fully finished. But I like fully finishing things. I like having them in my house to display. One, I've been bugging my daughter. It's the vows from one of her movies that she wanted. And I'm like, she's so picky with the frame. I'm like, find a frame. And I show her one on Amazon or on the internet. I'm like, what about this one? She's like, no, it's not goth looking enough. And so I'm on the search for like a gothy, black, chunky frame for her. And I just can't find them. So if you guys have come across one on all of your searches of, how we look for frames, if you come across one sometime, let me know, because I've been searching for a fun frame so I can get hers done for her. So that's one reason why one's not finished, is because I'm waiting on her. So yeah, most of them are fully finishes of my 31 finishes. So I'm carrying over 29 whips into 2025. And see, my math does not add up. 52 starts, 31 finishes, 29 whips into 2025. I UFO'd one. So, but the numbers are off. I like by a lot. Like, I don't know. But anyhow, I counted all my whips. I have 29 going into 2025. Under the 30 mark, which is still like, woo, that's a fair amount of whips. But they don't stress me out. No. I feel guilty a little bit. Like I said, you know, they're down here and they're like side-eye me. Like, what about me? So, but I'm like, you'll get some loving. It's like having a bunch of kids. They're all going to get some loving eventually, you know, but you have to divide your time. So goals, I do have some goals for which bigger samplers I want to work on this year, but not strong goals. So they're just kind of like pop in my head goals. So I'm not going to talk about those. But for 2025, I want 25 different designers. So of my new starts that I do, which I know I'll have quite a few, I want to have at least 25 different designers. And a fair amount of them will be newer to me because I've only been stitching for a year. So there are quite a few. I've never done a blackbird yet. And, you know, there's so many out there. Yeah, there's quite a few designers I've never have done one from. So 2025, I want 25 different designers under my belt and 25 new products or / techniques. So that is another thing. So new products meaning like a silk I haven't tried, maybe floche, I've never used that. Maybe a different count linen, like 56 count linen I've never done. So that will be in the 25 along with techniques. So maybe like a certain finish that I haven't done, like like a drum I haven't made yet, or biscornu I haven't done yet. So between new products and techniques, I want 25 under my belt for 2025. And my other goal is 25 fully finished objects. That is a goal. And the last 25 that I could think of, maybe I'll think of more on the way, but was at least 25 YouTube videos. So that puts me at 2 a month, which I wanted to stay on like every 2 weeks, you know, is great. Maybe I could squeeze in every week if there's a lot to talk about, which the last few videos there has been, because they're all around an hour. Last time went over an hour. So maybe if I'm busy in the wintertime with lots of stitching and have a lot to show you, maybe once a week, but 25 YouTube videos is my goal for 2025, at least 25. The giveaway. So last time I talked about a giveaway for this Let Freedom Ring patriotic bag. And the winner is Stampin' Cass. I'll put your information in here. Stampin' Cass. So just give me an email and let me know your address and everything, and I will get this sent out to you. Congratulations. And actually in the comment, I did just a random comment picker, like press the button and she popped up, and I think she's doing the sale with us. So what fun, dumb luck that somebody who actually is doing the sale won this. So yay, congratulations. So that I'll get that in the mail. So we have some time. Let's chat about Happy Mail. So over like the last month, I had gotten some cards in the mail and some cute little gifts. So I just wanted to show you guys and thank you guys. So this one is from Nola. She gave me a card, and one of my YouTube videos a while back when I was wearing my strawberry shortcake sweater, I was talking about like strawberry shortcake and scratch and stiff stickers and stuff. And she sent me, I laughed so hard when I opened this, strawberry shortcake scratch and sniff sticker pad. So a bunch of little stickers, and yep, you can scratch them and sniff them, and they smell like strawberries. Oh, I wonder if the lemon smells like lemon. Nope, I think they all smell the same. So nice little strawberry shortcake. I giggled so hard. So I will be putting these in my little bullet journal. Oh, which I could show you guys that too. So I know a lot of you guys use the book of days, and there's all kinds of not journals, but like planners out there. For me, I've used because hello, I am a fountain pen user. I mean, this is just, I have probably 50 fountain pens, and I just keep them here, and I usually only keep maybe like 5 to 7 loaded at a time, because you know, you can only use so much ink, and you don't want the ink sitting there. So when you're not using a fountain pen for a month or two, you know, you want to clean out the ink and let them dry out and put them away. But so these are kind of the ones in rotation right now. And because I'm a fountain pen user, I can't use a lot of planners out there, because fountain pen ink really is saturated and will bleed through a lot of different types of paper. So over the years, I've used like the Japanese one. What is it? Oh, now I forgot. Dang it. The words left my mouth. But also sterling ink. It's Tomo River paper. It's super thin paper, like Bible paper, that you would think would not hold ink, but it does. And so I've used those 2 journals over the years, and there's some other ones that are paper or ink friendly. One of them that I like, that's really easy to find. This is, I can never say the name. It's that. You can get it at like Barnes or Noble or anything. And this one, I get the dot for, I make my own like bullet journal. And so this is what I'm keeping track of all my stitching stuff this year on. And so it's got like a content in the beginning where you can put the pages on there. And then I'm breaking it up just kind of a weekly thing. Like I've done, you know, you do your own weeks and draw them out, and then you can, you know, you can do whatever, which I like that, because sometimes I'll just write in like a entry of the information. Here's what it was like. I wrote in my 2024 starts, and then the 2025 designers that this year I started. And so yeah, bullet journal, and then you can decorate it to add your stickers or anything. And that's why I like having a few different ink pens all inked up together. One of my favorite, these little Quebecos, they're just small. They're pretty inexpensive. They're like 40 bucks they're like $30 for the pen, and then you can buy the extra for that. And then sometimes you can get the cartridges, or you can get your own cartridge and put your own ink in there too. But these little Quebecos are great to just throw in your purse. And they're tiny, but when you post them, they're plenty big back there. So those are one of my favorite little pens. And I have them in different colors and different nib sizes. Yeah, these are the ones I have. So we have extra fine and fine. This one is a medium nib, a broad nib, and a double broad. So that's just like the thickness of the line. So yeah, just want to show you that. So my stickers will be going into that. It's another little hobby that we have of collecting things. And along with collecting the pens, you collect all the different color inks, and there's shimmer inks and it's color changing, where when you write it, it comes later and then it dries. It's fun, and yeah, so much fun. Okay, the next little gift is from Joan. Sent me a little card, and a chart from her little stitchy group and some linen. Oops. Oh, I was practicing. Or was this me or her? I must have put it on here. Did I? I don't remember. But it's lamb's wool, 40 count lamb's wool. And she knows that I use this for all my prairie schooler months. So this will get plenty of great use. And I like lamb's wool. It's a stiffer, like crunchier, but I like my stitches on it, and so I love it. Thank you so much, both Nola and Joan. And then the last one is from Kathy. She sent a cute little card, and she had got this in her advent box, and it isn't her taste, and so she passed it on to me. And I love the primitive hair stuff, and this is Miss Flora Fanny Flax. There's another tongue twister for me. She's so cool. Look at that. It's like the big bad wolf's wife. That's who she reminds me of. Even though, is she wolf or fox? She looks wolfy. Maybe there's some lore behind Miss Flora Fanny Flax. But to me, I think my lore is it is the big bad wolf's wife. And if it's a fox, then maybe he just species married. So yeah, when I stitch this, I will be thinking of the Little Red Riding Hood and the big bad wolf. So the next stuff is from my friend Leah. She sent me a box, and I hadn't been able to go through all of it before. So I'll just go through a few as we come up to the hour mark. So this is from Stitching with the Housewives, and it's rabbits. She knows I love rabbits. It'd be a fun little Easter start. Be really cute and put on a project bag, and then you could have all your Easter and bunny stuff in there. This one is just Nan. It's called Pitchley's Summer House. I think that's what it says. I didn't take out that, but cute little bird. Very springy, the colors. You could do it on a bright color fabric like that. Or you could neutral fabric to tone it down if you want it more subdued. Very pretty. Ooh, this one. Cottage Garden Samplings. The Swans. Very gorgeous. This would be a great winter start, but I already have plenty of winter starts started. So maybe next year. I love this one. It's so beautiful. Those swans and the wings look intense though, don't they? These are all intense. You don't think, but there's a ton of stitching. Oh, the next one is cute. The Serenita de Campagna. I don't know. I should just show the name and not try to butcher it. But maybe you guys can get a good laugh. That's your humor of the day, listening to Sheila try to speak. She sells seashells at the sea. Like, I can't do tongue twisters at all. My husband, he always does like Rubber Baby Buggy Bumper, and I could say it slowly, but he's like faster, and then he laughs at me and thinks it's the funniest thing that I can't speak. So all right. This one is called Santa Claus CV221. That's really cute. Santa with some little critters. That one's really cute. All right. Erica Michaels, The 12 Berries of Christmas. This is part 3. Oh, so if I do a berry this year, that will go under my new technique. I've never done a berry. So we can check mark that off. Oh, she sent me some fabric. It's 36 count R&R vintage beeswax. It was for a Victorian Christmas pattern she sent me. So it was the fabric to go with it. So pretty. Ooh, I like the beeswax. It's such a nice, dark, very like a cool tone brown. Because sometimes browns can get really warm, and this one's really a pretty, neutrally more cool. And then she sent old Salem linen, which I use. I want to start. I have oh, I had tickle. 2 needle books from Primitive Hair that I have that I need to start, and it's done on these linens. So you hate when you like take a breath and like a tiny little saliva hits the back of your throat, and then you like feel like you're dying. Amazing Grace Little White Church. This is from something Canicus Prims and Whims. This is really neat one. I think it's on, it looks like it's on fabric that's been like printed. So that I think is the fabric back there, but that's really pretty. I like that. But it's like this beautiful little church and a willow, and I've never seen this one. I haven't seen anyone do it. Really cute. It says the original Little White Church down the road in Guilford, New York, now owned by the Historical Society. Bought some years ago just for $1, currently under maintenance and restoration to preserve its long-standing history. So it's a little white church in New York. Cute. Oh, it's got some history. Then she sent me Prairie Schooler by the Chimney. This just look like a little, well, it's not quite as small as the ornament size. It's a little bit bigger. What size is this one? Does it say in the back? Oh, so about 5 by 7. So 110 high by 68 wide. So a little bit bigger than an ornament, even if you did it on 40 count. But you could do a big ornament. Or pillow. Ooh, this looks like a summer start for me, which I've seen this one done. Strawberry Fair by October House. Oh, look at that cute strawberry. I have strawberries in my garden, and they're so juicy compared to a regular store strawberry. It just not even compare. Oh, this one, I really would like a start on this one too. This is from, Brenda Gervais with that needle and thread. It's the Project Quarantine Stay Home and Stitch. So it must have come out during quarantine, but I live this motto anyhow, stay home and stitch. I think I had to leave the house, not yesterday, but the day before was the first time I left the house in over 2.5 weeks. I think it was before Christmas that I left the house, and it was 2.5 weeks I had not left my house. And I am so content just sitting at home and not leaving my house. Like, I don't need to leave. I don't know. I just don't. So this is my, like, stay at home and stitch. Stay at home and do anything. Just don't have to leave. Oh, this is really fun. So this will be the last. I'll save some more for next time. It's a little over an hour now. So Peter Rabbit ABCs. I was thinking, because I love rabbits, like I love little kid stuff. Like, just, I'm never going to grow up. Never. But I was thinking, is there a picture I could show without showing the chart? Okay, yep, in the middle here. There's some of the designs. How cute to just come up with your own little word. So I was thinking for Valentine's Day to come up with love. So, you know, LOVE, and it's the little bunny for L. O is a goose, like goose. V is a goose too. So there'd be two, where's V? Oh, right there. So it's two geese, one standing, one sitting. I kind of wish it was not two geese in a row because of OB, but, and then E is another bunny standing up. So each letter is different. Maybe I could, just chart it differently. Like there's a kitty over here for M. Maybe, or I can look like, so this is a curve for the O. If I could find another curve and try to find something that might fit, I could try to chart it out and put a different character in there, but make a cute little love pillow with these little guys. So I was thinking that might be on, if I feeling ambitious to chart that out differently. Yeah. All right, so I'll leave some goodies for next time around, and I think that's all in my notes. I know I'm always forgetting something, but all right, so have a wonderful week 2 stitching, and tomorrow, if you're doing the sal, tomorrow check for the next little installment of week 2. Sign up on Facebook if you want to join along, and the Zoom meetings will be starting the 4th of February. We're starting a Zoom. So if you are doing the sal and didn't hear about the Zoom as well, then email me and I can get you signed up for the Zoom call. All right, have a wonderful afternoon. Happy stitching. Take care. Bye-bye.